What happened with Tendernism?
Alright y'all, now before we get into the video, first and foremost, shout out to Keith Lee and Big Boy in the Neighborhood. Usually when I take clips from certain videos to react to, I skip straight to the part that I need, but I found myself watching this whole video. Keep in mind it's about an hour long and I watched it in one sitting. People had the timestamp of when he spoke about Tendernism in the comment section, but it's something about this video that kept me watching and I'm glad I did. It was a great interview. I encourage everyone to go check it out. I'll also leave the link to it pinned in the comments below. But the video gave us more insight on who Keith Lee is. I didn't know too much about him outside of just being a foodie. And if you look to social media to find out who he is, people have a bunch of negative things to say about him. Now, I'm sure it's probably mostly out of jealousy, envy, based on his success of him doing just something he enjoys doing, where this man literally gets paid to eat. Who wouldn't want that as a job? But I'm sure the anger towards him can also stem from people feeling like he's coming to their city and rating certain food that they like low, or just business owners not liking the fact that he may have given their restaurant a low rating. Whatever it is, I'm here to say that after watching the interview with him and Big Boy, I learned a lot and can honestly say that Keith is definitely a genuine down-to-earth person who not only believes in God, but he believes in giving back in a major way. Whether it's money, whether it's time, his dedication, if he could genuinely help someone, he will go out his way to do so. And not only that, but he actually could have been a professional fighter, so he ain't ducking no smoke. Now, let's get into the video, y'all. As y'all know, Mr. Tendernism himself have recently opened his own restaurant and have since parted ways from Destination Smokehouse after many believed that he was being taken advantage of. All of this started when Keith Lee himself would go to the restaurant to see what all the hype was about, and after trying the food, he said everything was pretty but the oxtails that the pitmaster Walter Johnson, aka Mr. Tendernism, was responsible for was actually everything the hype seemed to make it. Therefore, Keith will go out his way to try to tip Mr. Johnson $4,000 and an additional $1,000 to the restaurant goers to have a free meal. But to his surprise, he was met with resistance from staff in the restaurant and was never able to give Mr. Johnson a tip and pay his respects. Now, the video that Keith Lee did in response to everything would go viral, and from there, social media took the wheel. They would dig deeper into the restaurant and the owner and find out that the Mr. Tendernism trademark was filed by a branch of the restaurant known as Diamond Smokehouse Enterprises LLC, and despite the owner Nick saying that Mr. Johnson had knowledge of the trademark, it didn't negate the fact that he wasn't included. Having knowledge of something is one thing, but being a part of it where you can also benefit from it like everybody else, being that you are the one that made it up, is another thing. This would just further the suspicion of many believing that the older man was being taken advantage of, and before we knew it, Mr. Tendernism will part ways with the restaurant.
All right, so leg one is down, brother has to go back. He's got some special stuff to attend to. How you feel, man?
Pretty good, pretty good. I'm leaving Dallas out of this gate right here. I can't tell you where I'm leaving out of, but anyway, I'll see y'all again in the southern part of California, City B, Marietta. You know what we do. This destination, one the nation. And we'll see you again, Dallas. That's all.
Special trip, brother. I appreciate you.
Yes,
I love you. Thank you for coming out here.
I'll see you when you get back.
You can't say you love me on camera?
I love you, boy.
On the brighter side of things, Mr. Tendernism announced that he would now open up his own place, and many are excited to support after we will now witness Mr. Johnson being able to properly enjoy the fruits of his labor.
While we're talking, a question I think everybody's been wanting to know is, are you still at Destination Smokehouse?
No, I'm not. I'm not at Destination Smokehouse. I'm with Tendernism now. You know, I had to go on my own, you know, so that way I can do what I have to do. So I don't want nobody to be, it is what it is. You got to move on. When things happen, you don't get mad. Hey, you just take another step. Get glad. Praise the Lord, you're still living. But just, hey, I'm finna tenderize the world now. Hey, they should have never. But it is what it is, y'all. And keep, hey, family out there, y'all keep supporting me. And I guarantee you, I ain't gonna do you wrong. Booyah.
Keith Lee recently did a video with Big Boy, and he addressed the whole situation and stated how he felt when he was denied giving Unc a tip, and how he feels about him bouncing back to now having his own restaurant. Talk about the Keith Lee effect. So we're going to get into all that, but before we do, make sure you hit that thumbs up button so we can get this video into the algorithm. And if you not subscribed to the platform already, make sure you do so now. Let's get into it.
What happened with Tendernism?
Oh yeah, let's talk about it.
Yeah, man.
So we went one that was most highly requested place that we have had since, I feel like since we started. Easily over 30,000 requests to go and try the food over at Tendernism.
Now that's crazy, because you got to understand, right? 30,000 requests, and basically 30,000 of those people came from Mr. Tendernism himself, Mr. Johnson, right? I'm pretty sure 30,000 of those people seen Mr. Tendernism videos on social media, and they sent all their requests to him. So just think about it. 30,000 people, over 30,000 was interested in Mr. Tendernism himself, right? Forget Destination Smokehouse, forget the owner, forget all the other food. It was Mr. Tendernism himself that attracted everybody to that restaurant, and as he said, it was over 30,000 requests.
I was drawn to Unc. Unc is Walter, I believe his name is Walter Johnson, right? Saying it right?
We get it. Go ahead.
Okay,
but it is Walter.
I believe it is Walter.
Yeah.
So Walter is what initially made me want to go, because his energy was infectious, and that's his name. Okay, his energy to me immediately reminded me of an uncle.
Yeah,
and
man.
You can't fake that. So it's like we were saying earlier, it's one thing to be able to turn it on and turn it off, but us, we know what it is and what it ain't.
He's like that. In the dark, in the light,
you
camera
can tell
on, camera
it ain't
off.
nothing that he can put on, right? So that initially was what made us want to go, and it was something that we had tried, because people don't realize how far that is from damn near anything else, unless you want to specifically go there, or unless you from there.
Dude, we here and it's far from here.
That's where we was in LA.
Yeah, man.
And I'm thinking, oh, if we fly into LA, we gonna be able to get there, and it wouldn't be. It was a 3-hour drive to get over there. And when we got there, we went. I always have my family go in first to get the customer service experience, because again, it could be different if I go in. We got the food. The food, in my opinion.
Now, also pay attention to what he said, because if y'all remember, the owner was like, "Oh, I don't like how he did it." Basically, how his family came in, he didn't come in. First of all, this is why he does that, which is smart on his behalf. He sends his family in there first, because of course, if they see it's Keith Lee, everybody's going to be on their best behavior. They're going to have the best support. They're going to have the best treatment. They're going to have the best hospitality, because they know who he is and what he does. So of course they're going to be in their best behavior, and he really don't want that. He want people to be themselves. So of course not too many people know his family, so he send them in there first, as regular shoppers, so people can react how they normally would with regular people.
Was good? Was it amazing? I wouldn't say so.
Right.
I think there were certain parts of it that were amazing, like the oxtails were incredible. Some of the best oxtails I've ever had in my life. But the beef rib that was infamous for falling off the bone, it was a slice, allegedly, it was a slice in the back, to where if you pick it up, the entire thing falls off.
Right.
Instead of it just
we heard
sliced.
that too.
Yeah, instead of it just coming off.
You didn't know that? I thought I heard that from you.
I didn't.
Yeah, they said it's pre-cut.
It was for sure.
Yeah, slice. Damn, Lou, I thought I got that
The
from you.
oxtails were as tender as he said.
Oh,
as
gotcha.
falling
You
off
got
bone
me into
sliding, for
Tendernism.
sure.
Yeah.
Now, pay attention to what he says, because everybody get it misconstrued. Remember, Mr. Tendernism himself was only responsible, for what we know, for the oxtails. So when you see the oxtail and you hear him talking about the oxtail, he says all good things. He says that the oxtails actually did fall off the bone. The oxtail was tender. The oxtails was everything that they said it was, but everything else wasn't so good, right? So keep all this in mind. And he also said allegedly it was a slit in the back, so the food can fall, and you see the whole thing that you see on social media, which of course is just good marketing. But the thing is, when you're marketing like that, even everybody's going to have tricks. But the thing is, marketing is used to get the people into the restaurant, to bring the clientele. Everything else is up to you. So you got the clientele, however, the food, according to him, wasn't so good. But the only thing that was good was the oxtails, in which Mr. Tendernism is responsible for.
So I thought for sure that you knew. Oh, okay. I thought I got that from you.
We had the food. Right after we got done eating, I attempted to go in and have a conversation with Unc. Again, we don't call beforehand. We don't set up meetings. We don't set up no times, because the same experience that everybody else gets, I want the same experience. So when we went in, I just wanted to have a conversation with him, which I understand everybody gets busy. Schedules are different, right? So we went in. His security said he is in a podcast and he is not available. So I said, okay, is there a way that we could just leave him a tip? The plan was to leave him $4,000. And leave I initially had $5,000 cash. I want to leave $1,000 to pay for anybody to come in line after us, and then $4,000 directly to Unc. And it wasn't from a place of I felt like Unc was struggling or Unc needed it. It was a way to say thank you for what you do for our community.
Right.
We know what that is. We know how important it is to have strong Black old men that are positive role models in the community and that bring laughter and bring joy and bring energy to us, because it's not a lot of times where we have that representation for older Black men.
Right.
And I think it's getting less and less the more we get in media. I haven't seen a lot of old Black men with gray beards that are fun and can joke with a bunch of different cultures and bring cultures together. So that's why I wanted to leave him the money.
Now, if you're wondering why he's explaining, I gave him the money and says that he didn't give it to him out of anything negative. He didn't think he needed it. He didn't look at him the wrong way and say, oh, let me give him some money. No, because if you go to any upscale restaurant, when the food is good, people that go there all the time offers to tip the chef. Sometimes specifically just the chef. However, what the owner did, he manipulated the situation. If y'all remember, when they did the video together, he basically tried to make it seem like Keith Lee was only giving him the money, trying to make it seem like Unc needed it and he was down and out and just looked bad.
There were circumstances that happened after the fact with other people that he talked to that opened our eyes up to why he probably felt the way that he did. Even the way that he approached it, he didn't ask for anybody else. There's a lot of people visible on social media. To offer a tip to a business owner was crazy. That was the other thing too, is like he really thinks Walt is like this helpless guy who needs his help. How are you going to tip a business owner? Tip the whole staff.
But of course that wasn't the case. He just wanted to show his appreciation because I'm sure he probably felt they're probably not even paying you as much as you need to be paid anyway. So I want to show my appreciation for the food, and not to mention I just want to bless the restaurant as a whole, but he's the chef. So at the end of the day, he was going to give Mr. Tendernism the $4,000 and still give an additional $1,000 for the restaurant goers so they don't have to pay. Sounds good to me.
Security pretty much told us it was over with. It was done for the day. It was no way that we was going to be able to have a conversation with him. So we ended up leaving. We ended up passing that entire $4,000 out to the community. We stood in front of Destination Smokehouse. We met a lady who was driving. She was riding a bike and she had a stroller attached to her bike. And she said that she was taking her niece to school back and forth. So we left her $1,000. It was a lady who had just lost her dad that cried the second she saw us. We left her $1,000. We met a lady who was a cheesecake. She made cheesecake, like a bakery owner. And she was making cheesecakes by hand and packing them. And she was there the entire time we was there for 3 or 4 hours. We left her $1,000. And we met another lady who also we had a full conversation with, left her $1,000, and then we left. A video comes out maybe a week later or 2 weeks later, and it's the owner of Destination Smokehouse saying that I was basically, I'm paraphrasing, but I was trying to do charity to Unc, and I was singling him out, and I shouldn't have singled out a business owner. I should have given the money to every person around that was inside the business. Bunch of nonsense.
Straight manipulation tactics. That's what it was. They knew that they messed up. I don't think they understood that Keith Lee had the power he did, or maybe they did. They were just trying to cover their tracks. So he tried to basically manipulate the situation and make it seem like Keith Lee was wrong for just trying to give Unc a tip. However, even though he was trying to give Unc that tip, he still said $1,000 additional can go to the restaurant goers that come in. But once again, if you go to any upscale restaurant or anywhere for that matter, and you say you want to tip the chef, I never heard of someone else saying, oh, you got to tip everybody, not just the chef. I never heard of that. That's something they made up just to manipulate the situation because they knew they was wrong.
Yeah. And that it was something that I did on my end that was negatively affecting things, even though I just honestly gave my opinion. And it had nothing to do with the food. They were saying that because I didn't give Nick, who was the owner, the $4,000, that was part of the issue.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And I didn't see it that way. I still don't, to this day, don't see it that way.
Neither do I, bro. And I
that
think Unc moved on.
Yeah,
and I think they trying to lock up on Tendernism name. Mm-hmm. And then I just saw afterwards, I just saw some this stuff. And I just saw some disturbing videos from Old Boy too.
And he started doing the
man. It was just a lot, bro.
But
so basically, if y'all don't know what's going on, after Mr. Tendernism moved on, the owner himself called himself, I guess, trying to keep up with the hype that Mr. Tendernism left there. And this man would call himself dancing.
Look at that. Look at that. And watch this. Come on. Even the vibrance with the color there. And the flavor is insane. Where it's like,
Destination. One in the nation. Come get
we talked about it and things got misconstrued, of course. And Unc is exactly who you think he is. I got on the phone with him, and the first thing he said was Tendernism.
Yeah.
Literally, the first thing he didn't say hello, he didn't say hey, he said Tendernism. So we had a conversation about doing something in the future. We haven't fully locked that down, what that is, but just know that if I was to ever do something, it's from my heart, and I genuinely enjoy what he brings to the table, just from a personality standpoint. And I stand for the underdog. I stand for the people who aren't blessed enough to have a visibility spot. And if I'm blessed enough to have that spot in visibility, I would not go to sleep knowing that there's people around me that don't have it, that can't have it. And I'm going to pass it around.
Now, before we get out of here, y'all, for y'all that are confused about the trademarking, because we did hear that an attorney by the name of Kenneth Harris filed for it, but then we heard that a branch of the Destination Smokehouse known as Diamond Smokehouse Enterprises LLC would trademark it as well. Here's the breakdown. Kenneth Harris must have seen the future, and he decided to file an intent to use trademark for the slogan first. He stated that he did it out of good faith, basically so no one can steal it, because I'm sure he knew that Mr. Johnson wasn't too privy about the business side of everything he was doing. So, as a good man, he basically helped him out. A post on Twitter from the American Freedmen Legal Fund will explain it a little better, as the tweet will state, quote, "There are currently 3 trademark filings connected to the word Tendernism. Here is what people should understand about the situation. The earliest filings were submitted in November 2025 by an individual applicant under an intent to use basis. This means the mark was filed before proving actual commercial use. A later filing was submitted by Diamond Smokehouse Enterprises LLC, the company behind Destination Smokehouse, claiming actual use in commerce related to restaurant services. Mr. Walter Johnson, known publicly as Mr. Tendernism, has now stated that an attorney is transferring the trademark into his name. If an existing application is assigned to him, he could inherit the original filing priority date, which may strengthen his legal position. However, trademark law is not determined only by who files first. It also considers first use in commerce, whether the mark was used as part of employment, consumer association with the brand, and any assignment or licensing of rights. At this stage, the situation involves multiple filings and a potential transfer of rights. The central question going forward will be who ultimately controls the commercial use of the name Tendernism. So you see what happens when we stick together? I'm just glad that Mr. Harris did in fact do the right thing and stuck to his word as he helped out Mr. Johnson. Mr. Harris could have easily been shady and told Mr. Johnson that if he wanted his own trademark, he could buy it from him, or worse, he would have sold it to Destination Smokehouse for more money. But he didn't. He stuck to his word, and now it looked like Unc will be set. Dope story. Shout out to Keith Lee, Kenneth Harris, Cartel Bo, and everyone that took their time in helping Unc out and is a part of his success story that started out kind of rocky. Y'all jump in the comments, let me know what y'all think about this. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. And remember, as long as you keep on watching, I'ma keep on dropping. I'm out.